One game does not define a legacy, it is a body of work, spanning over years. It took Brady 20 odd years to etch himself into Mount Rushmore, but certain games stick out, ones you can point to and say, yeah, that's Brady for you. The Brady-Manning matchups were almost like the Super Bowl, an all-time great rivalry. But what made this particular game special? Aside from the 24-point deficit, there were some specific events that highlighted the broader point of the game, Brady's excellence. This game was full of turnovers and close calls. It was a sloppy first half for the Patriots, which would only add to their comeback in the second half. On their opening drive, Stephen Ridley fumbled, and it was returned for a 60-yard touchdown. A couple plays later, Brady was sacked and fumbled, which put the Broncos at the Patriots' 10-yard line and set up a rushing touchdown. After back-to-back turnovers, we're probably thinking, time for some Patriots points, right? Or at least just don't turn over the ball. Nope. The Patriots fumble again, this time LeGarrette Blount. That's 3 fumbles on 3 drives. This fumble put the Broncos at the Patriots' 44-yard line, and they would get 3 points from the turnover. And while this play didn't result in a turnover, it was a close call, where Brady loses the ball, but is able to recover it and complete the pass for a first down. Manning's first touchdown only came in the second quarter with 6 minutes left, making it 24-0. Just goes to show you, the Patriots were just trying to lose the game in the first half. Despite such a bad start, the Patriots went into the locker room and concocted some devious comeback scheme. The win probability was 4.1% late in the second quarter. For most, it would be easy to hang their head and say, you know, it's just not our game, the weather's not great, we'll bounce back next week. But that's the GOAT mindset. And this is Tom Brady's second greatest comeback of all time. After this game, it was his greatest, but the Super Bowl against the Atlanta Falcons became his greatest comeback. But that's a pretty crazy statement, the second greatest comeback of his career, and this is a 24-point deficit. The Patriots were able to shift momentum in their favour and took control of the game in the second half. The offense cleaned up their mistakes, which led to such a deficit in the first place, and the defense stepped up and got some timely turnovers. You can see here a fumble recovery by the Patriots, Manning throws an interception, and then he also throws another interception, but that's called back after a holding. But it showed the momentum had shifted. At this point in the season, the Patriots receivers ranked second in the league for most drops. They'd finished the year second as well, with 53 drop passes, behind only the Lions, who had 58. Brady had Gronk, but he had been injured for a chunk of the season. Julian Edelman would have his breakout season this year, but up to this point he hadn't really established himself in the league. Leading up to this game, he had amassed 473 yards and 2 touchdowns. This would end up being his first 1,000-yard season. In the off-season, Brady lost his favourite target, Wes Welker, as well as Danny Woodhead, who was a top receiving back, and Brandon Lloyd. This was also the year Aaron Hernandez would go to prison. So Aaron Dobson and Kenbrell Tompkins were his top outside receivers. Both only spent 3 years in the league. Dobson would finish 2013 with 519 yards on 37 receptions and 4 touchdowns, and Tompkins finished the year with 466 yards on 32 receptions, although both players would miss 4 games during the season. So they did not have an elite receiving core, and it was a major shift just from the year prior. And if you look at the run game, well, you'd see nothing. 3.7 yards per carry against Denver's 5.8 yards. It didn't matter though, we're talking about Brady, right? He completed 34 of 50 passes for 344 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. The Patriots would score 31 unanswered points and seal the game in overtime. To make such a comeback, a few things do have to go your way. An unceremonious ending, maybe, but Brady proved himself regardless. And get this, he has a better career record in overtime, 13-4, which is a 76% win percentage, than Super Bowls, where he went 7-3, which is a 70% win percentage. So the odds were in his favour going into OT. Alright, thanks for watching.